So you ought to let him know I'm about to knock his name off that board. She's staring at you. She's not. You gotta make a move. I can't. I get nervous. You want to jump out of helicopters, but you're afraid to go talk to a girl. Pretty much.
There will come a time you might have to decide who lives and who dies.
You not ready for this?
Go! I swim as fast and as hard as I can, for as long as I can. The sea takes a rest.
Natural selection is the process in which organisms with favorable variations survive, reproduce, and pass their variations on to their next generation. Since the 18th century, fossils have been used to form questions about evolution. Many ideas of evolution have been proposed, but Darwin's ideas are the base of modern evolutionary theories. Charles Darwin was the man who identified the process of natural selection. He was born on February 12, 1809, and died on April 19, 1882. Darwin's father wanted him to become a doctor, as was the family tradition, but Darwin was more interested in natural history. His father once told him, "You care for nothing but shooting, dogs, and rat catching. You will be a disgrace to yourself and all your family." But Darwin would later prove his father wrong.
In 1831, when Darwin was 22 years old, he was recommended to be a naturalist aboard the HMS Beagle. Although he got seasick, he agreed and accepted the position. When his ship stopped at different locations, he collected specimens from birds, plants, fossils, and other organisms. The Beagle traveled from England to the coast of Africa, across the Atlantic Ocean, to the eastern coast of South America, the southernmost tip of South America, and then to the western tip of South America. The place that influenced Darwin the most was the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands are a group of small islands near the equator, about 1,000 kilometers off the west coast of South America. On the islands, he discovered that there were species that only existed in the Galapagos, but resembled other species that lived elsewhere in the world. In Darwin's book, The Origin of Species, he stated, "The natural history of this archipelago is very remarkable. It seems to be a little world within itself, the greater number of its inhabitants, both vegetable and animal, being found nowhere else." This led Darwin to believe that species could change over time. One thing that led him to believe this is that there were finches on every island of the Galapagos, but they all had different shaped beaks depending on which island they lived on. This pattern was also observed with the tortoises of the islands. Depending on the island they lived on, the shapes of their shells varied. He also found fossils of animals that resembled species that existed in his days.
In speaking with Dr. Joshua Smith, expert in plant and animal adaptations at Harvard County University of Science and Medicine, Darwin's theory comes to life.
Have you ever wondered why plants or animals are so different in color, shape, size, exterior? Well, Darwin's theory explains why his theory is described that adaptations occur over time, not a short period of time, but over generations. Adaptations occur to help a species survive. There are two major types of physical adaptations, camouflage and mimicry. Camouflage allows a species to blend with its natural environment. For example, chameleons change colors so they can blend with their surroundings to hide from predators, making their life expectancy naturally longer. On the other hand, mimicry allows a species to resemble another. For instance, leaf bugs resemble leaves. They do a great job at it.
Physiological adaptations typically do not take as long to occur as physical adaptations. Physiological adaptations are changes in metabolic processes.
An example of a physiological adaptation is bacteria that becomes resistant to medication. Many lawn care professionals have found that in treating yards for pests, whether it's an animal pest or whether it could be even a plant pest, that over time there is an immunity that is developed against the chemical or biological element that is used against them. Therefore, you have things, pests in particular, that are hard to get rid of, and sometimes you have to use other means to get rid of them.
That guy who holds all them records, so you ought to let him know I'm about to knock his name off that board. You gotta make a move. I can't. I get nervous. You want to jump out of helicopters, but you're afraid to go talk to a girl. Pretty much, yeah.
There'll come a time you might have to decide who lives and who dies.
I'm ready for this.
Go! I swim as fast and as hard as I can, for as long as I can. The sea takes a rest.